Good evening, I'm Lavinia Ndiva. Fiji will brief Pacific Island countries on its political developments at the upcoming second engaging with the Pacific Leaders meeting in Nadi. Fiji's Foreign Affairs Minister Ratu Inoke Kumbombola says the leaders will also be given a brief of the progress made with the roadmap to democracy.
The meeting is being held following the request of Pacific Island leaders in the first meeting in Natandola last year. Ratu Inoke says the leaders felt the need for a second meeting to further develop discussions on regional issues and to develop collaborative approaches initiated in 2010. Currently, Vanuatu, PNG, the Solomon Islands, Tonga, Wallis and Futuna, French Polynesia, Kiribati and Timor-Leste have confirmed their participation. Others will confirm their delegates and numbers before Monday. It is the second such meeting to be hosted by Fiji to engage Pacific leaders in open discussions, highlighting the challenges faced by Pacific small islands developing states. Under the theme Strengthening Partnership among Pacific Small Island Developing States, the meeting aims to promote regional collaboration in the fight against issues such as climate change, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and also on immigration and custom issues and cooperation. Fiji has also invited development partners from Japan, Morocco, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Africa, Korea, Bhutan and China, who have all confirmed their participation. The meeting will be held at the Tanua International Hotel in Nadi.
Recently, government made one of the boldest moves in the sugar industry, moving the Ministry of Sugar to the Western Division. But this has been seen as something positive for the industry. Commissioner Western, Commander Choweli Dawaki and the Permanent Secretary for the Sugar Ministry, Manasa Vaningi, says the move would benefit the stakeholders and growers as well.
With the Western Division being the biggest sugar producer in the country, government recently moved its sugar headquarters to Lautoka. The move had been on the table for some time now and has been finally implemented, as it was also a recommendation of the Deloitte report as part of the reforming of the industry.
Yeah, it's been implemented now. That one of the major changes is the Ministry of Sugar moving from Suva to Lautoka and based here in Lautoka. This is the base for the sugar. More sugar is produced in the west rather than them there in Suva. But as it is, part of the reform is the upgrade of the mills, which is happening. And there's a lot that has to be done now in terms of marketing and other areas that we see where we can maximize the sugar that we have.
And with the changes to the sugar industry already underway, this is likely to trigger better and more efficient decision-making. Permanent Secretary for Sugar, Lieutenant Colonel Manasa Vaningi, says decisions regarding the industry would be made faster and meetings could be done better now, as all stakeholders are now in one area.
The industry stakeholders were extremely excited with the move. Now we are able to get them together. The problem with the industry is not only one person's problem. It has to be a combined effort of all the industry coming together. We have been having several meetings now. When you talk about the industry, you're talking about right from the farm. Then you talk about the various entities, the organizations that are already in the industry now. Sugar Research, the South Pacific Fertilizer, the FAC, the Growers Fund, the Cane Growers Council. All this thing needs to be brought together. And we are doing that, and they are very happy with the move.
Apart from the moving of the Sugar Ministry, other parts of the reforms are progressing well, such as the upgrading of the mills, planting of new canes, trainings, among others. The future of this commodity certainly has seen light at the end of the tunnel.
In its bid to improve health services and access to health facilities for people in the rural and outer islands, the Ministry of Health has started taking a holistic approach to upgrade its stations in the islands. According to the Permanent Secretary for Health, Dr. Salneta Saketa, most of the maintenance work in the health facility has been completed.
Maintenance work in all health centers in Koro, Nassau, Nambaso and Nathamaki nursing station is completed, and this had really convinced the people in these areas. For Nathamaki nursing station, a self-help nursing station will soon be handed over to the Ministry of Health after the facility was opened by the Prime Minister, Commodore Bainimarama, last year. The final paperworks are currently underway.
I think generally the conditions of facilities that we've seen, both in Nairai and Koro, are good, except for a few improvements like making sure that they have access with a vehicle and also making sure that, and now we have been able to put solar power onto our health facilities, so it has helped a lot in terms of retaining our people, our health professionals in the rural and maritime areas to be able to provide the service that is needed.
Dr. Saketa says the ministry will provide a vehicle for Koro soon after getting the next batch of leased vehicles, as most villages in the island is accessible by roads. Meanwhile, Dr. Saketa said upgrading works for Ngarani and Lomo Lomo health centers on Ngau to a sub-divisional hospital will commence once Cabinet approves, based on the evidence whether there is really a need to raise those health centers to divisional hospital level.
And I guess it's an issue of our maritime areas. Is basically about access and transport and access to a high level of care should they require referral. And the Ministry of Health has, as you said, we've already got a boat that's in Levuka, and of course for any other emergency we have air evacuation that are also made available should there be an evacuation of patients needed.
She says that with the construction of the Nairai jetty, it will be an access route to the other villages, and it should be able to address all the needs in the Lomaiviti group.
After the break, more than 100 kilometers of new roads made this year and PSC to supplement own resources.